Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mortgage Show on CKNW. Manny Bazunas, along with accredited mortgage professional and best-selling author Angela Calla. So pleased you could be with us. We're heard at this hour every weekend on CKNW. AngelaCalla.ca is how you reach out to the radio program. Angela Calla, CALLA.ca. Bank rate holding steady this week, Angela. What, if anything, does it mean for variable and or fixed rates? And should people now look to locking in?
Well, Manny, we know we're not at the bottom of the cycle of where interest rates are going, but what Canadians don't know and why your timing is important is that the banks will reprice accordingly to ensure profits. So in terms of variable rate holders and adjustable rate holders, their mechanism for how their interest rates are going to be calculated is based on the Bank of Canada. There's been no action. We are saying that there could be 2 reductions this year, but I wouldn't hold your breath for the summer. I would say if that happens, it's going to be in fall and winter. Now, for fixed rate mortgage holders, the bond rates can change daily and they're based on the markets. So if you're holding out for your renewal thinking, oh, I'm going to wait, rates are going to go down, that's a mistake. And that can cost you a lot of money because the banks consistently reprice their fixed rates according to the changing daily bond market. And the spreads that they decide to take on those rates can always be larger, as we've seen time after time over the last few decades that I've been in this business. And in addition to that, if you're thinking, oh, the same for a variable, I'm going to wait, the discounts will fluctuate or be eliminated when rates get even lower. So knowing that we're near the bottom of the cycle, if you want to make the smartest move is lock something in today, protect yourself. It costs you nothing. And if you're a home buyer, this is certainly your time.
Mortgage renewals, figure I was looking at the other day, Angela, mortgage renewals make up 65%. That's almost 7 out of 10 in mortgage activity. 65% of mortgage activity is renewals. Many opting for shorter amortization, suggesting a rising use of debt consolidation.
Debt consolidation is the smartest way to get ahead, improve your cash flow, and help you design a different life for yourself. Obviously we talk time after time about the biggest mistake people make upon mortgage renewal is not doing the due diligence of looking at their overall financial plan and determining, do I have debts outside of my mortgage? What are my expenses coming up in the next 5 years? Do I have an emergency fund? And what does my next few years look like in terms of where I want to live? Those aspects, when they are not reviewed properly or considered, end up costing Canadians or setting them back financially substantially. It's very common that someone contacts us for a mortgage renewal, and when we take a look at their overall financial picture, like 7 out of 10 Canadians, they have a car loan, credit cards, lines of credit, and what we're doing on average is saving them anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a month by ensuring that we get rid of all their outside debt. We help them now qualify should they choose to move up the property ladder sooner, and now that they're not outlaying their cash flow ineffectively and they're saving that money monthly, the cycle of debt stops and they're able to build a financial portfolio for themselves moving forward. So, and they're doing all this without moving and without working any extra time or anything. So it's very critical that when you do have a mortgage renewal, that we are taking a look at the overall financial picture and making sure that you do have the right mortgage at the right amortization with the right interest rate that's selected for your personal risk tolerance moving forward.
Debt consolidation was on the mind of a client of yours, Angela, lives in Nanaimo. Her name is Liz. You restructured her mortgage, rolled that outside debt into a new mortgage, saving Liz $2,375 net dollars a month. And you recently ran into Liz and decided you'd have a little chat with her. And we thought we'd revisit that conversation you had with Liz because she goes through the entire process of what it was like working with the Angela Calla mortgage team, and at the end of the day, saving more than $2,300 a month.
Well, hello, Liz. Thank you for joining us here live from Nanaimo, BC. That is actually one of my favorite places. My husband's mother, so my mother-in-law and my sister-in-laws that I call my sisters, all live in Nanaimo. So I actually come your way quite often, my dear, when it's safe to do so.
Right. Yes. Well, it's always such a beautiful ferry ride normally. Yeah, so maybe we'll cross paths at some point this year when everybody's allowed to travel freely again.
Absolutely, we will. I know that you live in one of the most beautiful places, and I can't wait to come over there and see all the beautiful people that I've had the privilege of meeting who have listened to us on CKNW. So, Liz, would you share with us today what inspired you to originally reach out to us the first time and how you heard of us?
Well, I'm always listening to CKNW, so I have heard both the mortgage show and any of the advertisements that have been on, and it's really piqued my interest. Early this year, we were pre-COVID actually starting to look at. We knew that we had a mortgage coming due at the end of or towards the end of 2020. Am I in the right year? I'm in the right year. Sorry.
Yes, you are. That's okay. We're newly in 2021, so it's completely understandable.
Yeah. So, we're both retired. So that was a concern, looking at remortgaging and what we had to deal with. And I had thought I need to start looking to see what our options are going to be. As it turned out, I did end up going back to work on a casual basis. But still, I did have some concerns about would we be in a position to, remortgage our home and take care of all the outstanding that we had going on in our life. So I reached out to your team and heard back from them promptly, and they assured me that they would be able to find something that would work for us, and in fact they did so in very short order. So it was great to have that.
Excellent. So that was your first time reaching out to the Angela Calla mortgage team. How is it different from previous mortgages that you may have had in the past?
Well, to be honest, I always felt like going into a bank, I always felt like we had to go in like hat in hand, and we're kind of, really did not have a good feeling about venturing into the bank and feeling like, we were, asking for their favor to, take us on. So it was a very different experience for sure.
Oh, we're so happy to hear that. And we were really excited to help you because when we had a quick consultation, we were grateful you called because we saw that we were going to be able to help you with your current life stage and improve the quality of your life. Would you be comfortable sharing with our listeners how much money we were able to save you each month?
$2,375. And for us, that has been life-changing. We had looked at, we did have a first mortgage, a second mortgage, a line of credit, a vehicle payment, and a number of credit cards. So we were really unsure about, what we were going to be able to deal with this. And the team said, absolutely, send us everything that you have. We'll review and we'll get back to you. And they did.
And we were so excited because, things were changing in the market. And we initially started thinking, oh, okay, we're going to save you some money. And then the interest rates just kept dropping. And the benefit was just before your mortgage renewed, everything changed and we were able to save you even more money. So what was that experience like, getting that call saying that we were going to save you even more money?
Well, it was funny because it was like every other day I would get an email or a call saying, hey, we've got a new interest rate and your payments have gone down. And one of the things that was really great with the team is because we had one mortgage coming due 1 year, and the second mortgage was, I believe it was 8 or 10 months out. The team really looked at what we had going on, what our penalties might be to pay things off earlier, and gave us a number of options to look at in terms of dates as to what would best maximize our money. And we did pay a penalty with getting out of the second mortgage, but overall it was well worth it because in the end we did end up saving so much money. So paying that that small penalty was negligible in what we've been able to, to have in the end.
Well, we're just so proud to have you as a part of our mortgage family. And for us, it's just so exciting to be able to even see you virtually and
Mhm.
share that with you. And I want to let you know that from the bottom of our heart, myself and my entire team are here for you for the duration of your lifetime to ensure that we can always help you to the best ability for you and those that you care most about. With that being said, with anyone tuning into the show today, what advice would you have for them?
Just get on the phone or send a message. You have everything to gain. And like I say, it very much is a family. I mean, I got a birthday message and we got a Christmas card and, it's just, and follow-ups and people, we had people on the phone with us walking through documentation, which was all the documents I was thinking, well, they're in Vancouver. How is this going to work? We hadn't really dealt with anything electronically, but what we had to send went easily. What came back to us came back, and the team went through step by step with us where things needed to be signed and sent back, and it really was an easy process. And I have told a number of people, give them a call. Like they will find you something. Like honestly, yeah.
Well, we are just so excited for you. And, we're so excited for your savings. Please know that you can reach out to us anytime and that we're here for you and those that you love. And each and every member of my team wanted me to express their hello to you because everybody just really, really loved working together to help you. So thank you so much, Liz.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Thank you very much. And again, like I just can't say enough of how easy the process was. And there wasn't a moment in time where I felt like I was kind of like standing there with my hat in my hand, feeling very small in this, in redoing everything that we needed to do. I felt very much a part of the team. Everybody kept us up to date on what was going on. So I can't say enough. So thank you very much for helping us out because it really did make a big difference in our lives.
Wow, Angela, 2,375 net dollars every month, thanks to a debt consolidation, a restructured mortgage through the Angela Calla mortgage team. There is no fee for Angela's service. Angela Calla, CALLA.ca, AngelaCalla.ca. You are listening to The Mortgage Show on CKNW. I'm Manny Bazunas, back in a moment. Welcome back to The Mortgage Show on CKNW. Manny Bazunas along with accredited mortgage professional Angela Calla. Angela Calla, CALLA.ca. There's no fee for Angela's service. Are you drowning in outside debt? We've got some statistics on the numbers of Canadians now delinquent on outside debt. We're going to cover that a little bit later on The Mortgage Show. But first, Rob Boys, our resident real estate expert from Royal LePage. Robert is all about making money. And Robert, you have an outstanding new listing in one of the most beautiful places in Canada. A turnkey, rental-ready investment property. Let's talk money.
Love it, Manny. Incredible.
I love this property.
Intro.
I love this property. Soils.
I'm about saving people money. Look at the warmest climate in Canada. Did you know 3 miles of the Sonora Desert is in Canada and it's in Osoyoos? Look at.
I did not know that.
I'm actually one of the originators of this development way back when. And my buddy picked up this unit pre-sale and he's looking for something a little bit different for him and his family after many years of enjoyment at Casa del Mila Oro, 3-bedroom and den, 2-bath, lakefront retreat. Look, it's zoned as one of the few properties, due to government regulations and whatnot, that you can do Airbnb in, and it's projected to bring in about $50,000 this year alone and tons of owners' use. It's not what you traditionally call a hotbed either. It's not a forced rental pool where if you're not there, it has to be rented. You don't have to rent it at all. You can just let family, friends, and yourself make memories here. 300 feet of lakefront, a dock, geothermal heating and cooling, covered patios up and down, secure garage, beautiful courtyard side, pool and hot tub and lounge area. It's got an amenities building. And once again, Osoyoos is incredible. This is over on Lakeshore Drive. We've got it priced for $729,000. I've got a professional CMA on this that shows that it's worth $805. There are bookings this year, so there's cash flow already built in. Reach out to me. I also own a home in Osoyoos, single family residence. I look across the lake at Casa de Mila Oro, so I'm up there a fair bit, but I do have an associate of my team who's in town. We can get you in to see the place. 104-5401 Lakeshore Drive in Osoyoos.
RobBoys.com is how you reach out to Robert and check out this listing in Osoyoos just in time for the summer season. RobBoys.com, ROBBOIES.com. Robert, while I've got you this week, I want to talk a little bit about the silver membership on your platform, rented123.com. Silver membership, it comes with its privileges.
Absolutely. Manny, did you know, everybody listening to this show right now, there were thousands and thousands of Rented 123 members that reported their rent, improved their financial health, build their credit, all by that secure rent reporting link, and it cost them $10 a month. We don't have to manage the property, although we're happy to do that. You just have to be a member of Rented 123. You get access to our marketplace. You get access to our financial IQ influencers, no obligation financial needs analysis. We have what we call Pay Yourself First program. And the most important thing, regardless of what you're doing right now, if you're trying to get ahead in life, pay yourself first. And we got a pre-authorized debit plan that puts it right into your TFSA, or if you're trying to become a homeowner, or your federal first-time homeowners grant, or another account, we're here to support you. But we report that rent payment. It can be split up against or amongst roommates. Mom, Dad, if you're listening, if you've got an adult child living at home and they're paying you, okay, let's hope they're paying you a little bit. We can report that rent payment. It's a secure link that comes to the tenant every month. Nobody sees the data. It's reported back to the credit services agencies, and it's growing people's credit scores, improving their financial health, giving them a foundational change in that leverage payment. Rented123.com silver membership.
I'm not sure how many people realize when they are renting, Robert, that those rent payments can, in fact, through this particular app, rented123.com, be applied and increase your credit score. Thus, when you do apply for a mortgage, you get a better rate and better terms.
Look, you get better housing options in the future because your credit score is going to be higher. Rented 123 members also get their ID verified. They get a credit score. They get one of the best, we've created this ourselves, leveraging AI language, one of the best background checks. So if you're out there looking for housing right now, you can come to Rented 123 and just get certified through PDFs, cost you $25 total, and it'll help you get into better housing.
The other thing I like about this particular app, Robert, you know, there were times where people were lined up to rent places. Maybe it's eased a little bit. I'm not in the rental market. I don't know, but I understand it's eased a little bit from the statistics I read on it. But still, if you're looking for a rental property and you're looking to rent, you can join up to this service, rented123.com, and you will have some exclusive first listings that people can actually look at and kind of get ahead of the line.
Absolutely, Manny. Our members are bronze members, so that's the entry level, $6 a month. Remember, the silver is $10 a month. We have a gold program where you can earn more rewards, but you do get access to our listings. We even have some vacation rental access that you get access to as well. And of course, you get access to our exclusive rent to own program. We've got some exciting announcements coming out with some developers. You can rent to own, build your credit score, build your savings, and have a plan where you're the homeowner after 30 months, all at rented123.com.
And as an added benefit or bonus, you've got some exclusive offerings from suppliers that can be passed on. If you're a subscriber to rented123.com, you get some exclusive deals.
Excellent, Manny. We are working with so we work with U-Haul, TELUS right now. If you transfer over through Rented123 to TELUS, you get discounts, you get a dedicated technician, okay, to come and deal with any of the issues you have. It doesn't go to a call center. You get a dedicated Rented123 TELUS technician. We are working with furniture suppliers. Everything housing and financial needs is within this marketplace. And we are also global. So regardless of where you're listening from, you're going to find discounts and products and services in your specific marketplace.
Rented123.com is how you reach out to Rob Boys. And while you're there, check out his listing in one of the most beautiful places in Canada, a turnkey rental-ready investment property in Osoyoos. Rented123.com. Rob Boys, our resident real estate expert from Royal LePage. You are listening to The Mortgage Show on CKNW. Manny Bazunas. I'll be right back. Welcome back to The Mortgage Show on CKNW. Manny Bazunas, along with accredited mortgage professional and best-selling author of The Mortgage Code, available on Amazon. Angela Calla. Angela Calla, CALLA.ca, with a reminder there is no fee for Angela's service. Angela, you recently wrote on LinkedIn, Ethan and Lily from Coquitlam had been working for years but never had enough extra money to cover their bills and start investing. Between their mortgage and helping their son with tuition fees, they were able to stabilize their credit card debt and their savings, which never seemed to grow. That's when a neighbor who had refinanced with us, the Angela Calla mortgage team, suggested they reach out. After reviewing their mortgage, we helped them free up $920 per month. That's over $11,000 per year, allowing them to start investing while maintaining their current lifestyle. Which brings us to this question. What would you do with an extra $11,040 per year? Yeah,
wow.
Yes, that's a good question to ask.
It's exciting, and for every family it's different, and we are just here to make that happen so we can help you get where you want to go, because paying debt ineffectively, paying unnecessary interest, it's disadvantageous for Canadians. And so, if you're listening, 1 in 4 Canadians, according to the most recent report I saw, are delinquent on credit cards or lines of credit or car loan payments at this time. And so if that is you, or you're at risk of juggling one of those things, know that there's a better way if you own your home, and we can easily take a look at ensuring if there's any better cash flow scenario for you, then we can go ahead and redo your mortgage, get everything in one payment, and have you now saving money every month for you to decide what's important to you.
That's a staggering figure, Angela. 1 in 4 Canadians delinquent on outside debt. And that has got to absolutely decimate your credit rating. And so when you've got bad credit, say goodbye to, really good terms on a prospective mortgage, if you can even get one.
Yes. So you're in control of it. If you think you're going to be late on your payments, or if you're struggling with too many payments outside of a mortgage, there's a better option. Let's take care of it right away for you, so you don't have to deal with anything beyond getting some savings. But you got to lean into it right away.
Procrastination is a word we often use on the Mortgage Show, Angela. Procrastination equals losing money or not saving money. And that is why, if you get on it now with the Angela Calla mortgage team, she can rehabilitate a lot of things with regard to your mortgage, including consolidating outside debt into a new mortgage, thus saving money. And that's exactly what Sean did. Sean is a real estate investor, needed some extra dough to do a little work on one of his rental properties. So he went to Angela and said, look, let's restructure this mortgage. And you did, saving Sean $500. So we welcome Sean to the show. And Sean, where were you at when you contacted Angela?
Well, with regard to my mortgage, first of all, a little bit about myself. I'm a real estate investor, and, of course, the market's ever-changing. And being a business guy, you want the option to have the payments lowered. There's a couple things. First of all, to keep some money in your company, and also, I've got other investments on the horizon. So Angela and her team did it again. Just kicked in at the perfect time with the great term, the great rate, and super happy with it.
But you needed a little extra dough, you could use that extra dough. So you went to Angela and her team and said, "Look, get me some options here where I can save a little bit of money each month."
Well, yeah, I mean, it was. It goes back. I'll go back to one of my investments. Angela's and her team has done a few mortgages for me now, and you don't really see the scope of what they're doing because they're the experts, and you can tell by the scope and the amount of mortgages that they do. But Angela, she was like a wizard. I mean, she actually, when she did this one investment for me, she had long-term plans for me, obviously. And when we got the mortgage done, again, it just came out for renewal. And I might add, she got the deal done 6 months earlier with no penalty, which was just unbelievable. And she saved me close to $500 a month on that mortgage on my rental. So that was just over the top.
Yeah, put that $500 into your jeans or into that next investment.
You got it, or back onto the equity of that thing, whatever you choose.
Yeah, back onto the equity. Give us a little bit of an insight into the process working through some of those options with the Angela Calla mortgage team.
Well, what I do is I don't even try to get my head around it anymore. I leave it to the experts. Angela Calla and her team are just that. I mean, one of the things that I can say is that one thing that I really enjoy about Angela Calla and her team, they're all they're all real estate investors themselves. So, you can't beat, not only one of the top mortgage brokers in Canada, but you can't beat dealing with that individual and her team that have skin in the game themselves. So they know exactly what the plans are. They'll go into detail with you what your long-term plans are. Is this a long-term hold? Is it a buy and sell? Is it a flip? Is it a medium hold? Or so then they tailor that mortgage for you, and then they go out shopping for it. So it's a fantastic experience to say the least.
Well, of course, the service is of no charge too, and it relieves you of that stress and anxiety of running around and doing it yourself. Even though you're a knowledgeable real estate investor, you know enough to leave it in the hands of a true mortgage professional and let you worry about other things with your investment properties.
Well, that's just it. I mean, I don't want to deal with that. That's their, with me being a real estate investor, I want to be able to go out and find those properties that are going to be suited for my needs, whatever they may be, whether they're long-term, whether they're, short-term, whatever the case may be. I want to be able to fire that expertise over to Angela Calla and her team and let them run with it, and that gives me a huge peace of mind.
Short, mid, or long term with your real estate portfolio, Sean, at least now you have a concrete, albeit possibly changeable, mortgage strategy, mortgage plan moving forward. We always talk about that on the Mortgage Show here at CKNW, and that's critically important for you.
Absolutely. I mean, it's that's the game with real estate is that the numbers have to work. And if the numbers work, beautiful. It's a great long-term strategy, but to make those numbers work, you need the people like Angela Calla and her team to put those pieces together to complete the puzzle. It's fantastic.
Well, with real estate prices rising, as we all know, making those numbers actually work, another reason, another great benefit for having the Angela Calla mortgage team crunch those numbers to the point where the overall affordability of a rental property can be realized.
Well, one of the things that, and that's an excellent point. One of the things that I was really pleased with what Angela did with my last investment was that I was looking for a no lock-in, but we were able to negotiate, Angela's team was, so it had nothing to do with it, but to negotiate a really good rate, almost half of what I had previous, and with no penalty, other than other than a 3-month penalty. I could break the term at any time, and so it gives me huge flexibility, and I'm saving $500 a month. So, yeah, I mean, it was just absolutely first class and super well done by their team.
As a savvy investor in real estate, Sean, what advice would you give to others who might be looking to build a real estate portfolio like yourself?
Well, here's what I can say, and I can say this as sincere as possible, because one thing I do about referrals, if someone's painting your fence and they did a crummy job, you're not going to tell your friend that they call these painters. You just don't. So when I give out referrals, and I'm talking to any of my friends or anybody in my network, I would say unequivocally is to call Angela Calla and her team. There's so many moving parts to a mortgage, and it changes all the time. And with the plan and the management of her team, you'll be able to have the best options that give you the lowest cost of home ownership, whether it be a principal residence or whether it be real estate moving forward for investments. You just can't beat the experience from Angela Calla and her team. I would suggest it and refer her to anybody I know anytime. I was just so amazed the first time, and Angela Calla and her team will only do my mortgages from now on and in the future.
I kind of like that, Angela. He was looking long term, and I think for many of us with a mortgage, we don't necessarily look long term other than the length of the mortgage, but things do change. Life changes, and that can change the ability of your mortgage to take care of some of those life changes.
Yeah, it's very important. I think people are like, well, I'm waiting. Well, ask yourself this. In the next 30 days, what do you know is going to happen? Are you going, people say, well, I'm going to get a lump sum, or I'm going to work overtime, or I'm going to sell something to be able to pay out that debt. Is that guaranteed? Is that coming into your account in the next 30 days? However, what we can guarantee in 30 days, if you do have debt outside your mortgage, is that we can, obviously on approved credit, qualify you to completely change your life and move forward. So you can count on that. Do what you can count on. Don't put yourself in this constant state of worry or anxiety, thinking, okay, well, I'm going to get a bonus, or I'm going to get this work thing, or things are going to get better, because we can't control the outside economy, but we can control our households. So position yourself best. And if something you can do today is going to guarantee you savings, take the savings. And then if whatever else comes together that you were hoping for, or that you're waiting on a variety of outside circumstances to come together for that to come together, then you're only double positively impacting your financial situation, and you can design even more wealth building and protection accordingly. So we always say, give yourself certainty in an uncertain market.
AngelaCalla.ca, AngelaCalla.ca is how you reach out to Angela and her team. There is no fee for Angela's service. You're listening to The Mortgage Show on CKNW. That figure is absolutely staggering. 25%, 1 in 4 Canadians delinquent on their outside debt. Angela, I think what a lot of people look at when they want to consolidate outside debt into a new mortgage is, what about the payment penalty for breaking the current mortgage? I know that oftentimes is factored in to a restructured mortgage, but does that in the end mean people will pay more?
Well, no, because their cash flow is reduced, so they can pay down their mortgage often in record time. There's an example that I do for the real estate board when I'm teaching my course that I've developed for realtors PDP credits. And it shows a specific family that we broke their mortgage, included their outside debts, included the prepayment penalty. They saved over $900 and some odd dollars a month, and they took that $900 some odd dollars a month, and then they were able to pay out their mortgage in 17 years and without any outside debts. So the amortization period is ultimately determined by the individual consumer, because you can take the savings and apply it elsewhere to, obviously invest money, purchase more assets, save money, or you can take that money and you can pay down your mortgage in record time. The choice is yours, but you gain these choices and you gain this flexibility and you gain the opportunities when you take the step of making sure that you have these options by restructuring your mortgage in the most effective manner.
Well, that's exactly what Sean did. We just spoke with Sean couple of minutes ago, and he had a rental property. He wanted a mortgage restructured on that rental property to save $500 a month, and that's exactly what Angela and her team did for him. AngelaCalla.ca, AngelaCalla.ca. You are listening to The Mortgage Show on CKNW. I'm Manny Bazunas, back in a moment. Welcome back to The Mortgage Show on CKNW. Manny Bazunas, along with accredited mortgage professional and best-selling author of The Mortgage Code, Angela Calla. Angela Calla, CALLA.ca. This show is all about information. But you took another tack with getting information out there regarding mortgages, Angela. You wrote a best-selling book called The Mortgage Code. This went flying and is flying off the shelves at Amazon. And proceeds to charity, but let's talk a little bit about what's in the book and why there are so many benefits to purchasing this book.
Well, it really takes you through the different life stages that we go through and shows you the strategies to implement and how it benefits you. But it also kind of peels back the layers of the why behind everything we've been taught about mortgages. And it tells you why the bank is selling you this in a specific way. It tells us why we thought something was a good idea that maybe we've been sold, but it's really not. So it breaks down all of that because utilizing a mortgage professional, we're unbiased. So we're breaking down all the different biases that different institutions have and why they have them. And so when you make a mortgage decision, you're making it from a place of clarity and education. You're not being sold something because it's always what we're not told about a situation that ends up costing us money. And in conjunction with that, I would also say proactive mortgage management, because ask yourself this, if you're listening right now, when is the last time, if you've gotten your mortgage by yourself through your bank, or in whatever institution you've got it from, when is the last time that they've proactively called you to look at saving you money and not sell you something? When is the last time that they've done that? And how has it actually helped you? Have they done something that's actually helped you save money throughout the duration of you having a mortgage? Most 99% of people say no. And when people contact our office, we ask them, oh, where do you bank? Where's your mortgage? And they say whichever institution, insert anyone you know. And I say, when is the last time that they've called you? And how frequently is that? And there's silence, and for good reason, because once they obtain the mortgage, it's just about getting things in and then cross-selling. Hey, do you want a line of credit? Hey, do you need a credit card? Hey, how about insurance? It's not about, hey, there's been a fluctuation in interest rates. It may or may not be worth it for you to make a change, but let's run the numbers. Let's do the work. Let's invest in you. Let's do the work and see if we can save you money and the institution makes less. It doesn't happen. Why do you think the banks, and why do you think it's so easy in our credit system to get a credit card or a line of credit instead of get a mortgage? Because they're high rates, high profit. So they're not proactively suggesting that you find a better strategy, because ultimately the more debt that they have out, the more profitable they are. So all these things are layered into the book in different life stages to share with you how we can help you get ahead. And it shows you the things that we have access to that consumers cannot access on their own directly.
And I think you kind of nailed it there, Angela, because when I take a look at the interest rate on some of these products that banks offer, credit cards, for example, that interest rate is 18, 19, 20%. A mortgage might only be, whatever, 3, 4, 5%. And so they want you in those high interest rate products because that's where they make their dough. And what we're suggesting here and have over the years is, you can take that really high interest rate that you're paying on that credit card debt and roll that debt into a new mortgage, paying the lesser interest, thus saving the money. You recently restructured a mortgage for Harry and Lisa, saving this Langley couple $1,701.52 every month. You consolidated their outside debt and you allowed them to work less and save more for retirement. That's a heck of a lot of money you're saving, Angela. $1,700 net per month.
Exactly, without having to sell your home and without having to change your employment or work extra. It's incredible what you can do to empower yourself when you learn what options are available to you. So it's our passion. It's what we do each and every day. So if you have a debt outside your mortgage and you want a better life and you want the options to move up the property ladder and you want to look at how you can retire sooner and have a better quality of life, maybe you've got a cosigner on your mortgage that you want to get off and you want to just continue on by yourself and you have debt outside your mortgage, you've got this. And now's your time to empower yourself, design a better life, take control of what you can in your own household in uncertain economic times, and really build and protect your wealth moving forward.
This week alone, Angela, I spoke with a couple of friends, both of whom are teachers, and of course, looking forward to a nice long summer. I said, what are your plans for the summer? Any vacation plans? And both of them, who don't know each other, but I know both of them, both of them said, we are staying close to home. It's simply too expensive. We don't have enough money to take our kids outside of BC for a holiday. And so to that, you recently helped a teacher, Jane, and her husband, John, who's a plumber from New West, restructure their mortgage, saving them a massive $2,668 a month. Now, that goes a long way in funding a vacation when your net saving every month by restructuring your mortgage is almost $2,700 a month.
Yeah, significant, Manny. It's tens of thousands of dollars if you look at what that is over the term of any mortgage, right? So again, without moving, without working more, a lot of teachers sometimes are, they're taking on summer school, they're taking on extra jobs in the summer. Some of them are even working evenings and weekends to try to get ahead. And so being able to contribute positively into their household by just doing some paperwork, Manny. I mean, it's not complicated, but it's really knowing how to get what you've got working for you to your best advantage. And it's taking the step. And the step really is easy. You reach out to us. We have a quick conversation about your goals and learn how your income is generated. We send you a list of the documents that we need. You send it back to us, and then we do the work. And we say, hey, you know what? It looks like based on what we're seeing, you're going to save X amount per month. We're going to proceed with getting that approved and go over that with you. Or, hey, you know what? We're in a spot right now where we should probably stay still. Let's reevaluate this in 6 months or 3 months or a year, depending on the scenario. That's applicable to them. So it's really important to take control of what we can in today's economy and in any economy, in my opinion, and see if there's better options out there for you, how you can utilize them, and let's design you the best life that we can within what we've got control of.
Well, through your best-selling book, The Mortgage Code, available on Amazon, all proceeds to charity, by the way, and this show, The Mortgage Show on CKNW, one of the things that we've looked at over the years, the many years we've done this show, Angela, and that is, let's take the fear factor out of all of this. People, I think, are more afraid of a lot of things today because money is so tight. But this is one instance, one example of where there is no fear. Angela will take care of everything. And in fact, will release you of all that stress and anxiety that goes along with outside debt, including a mortgage. So it's really about taking care of that fear factor, in my opinion, Angela.
Yes, the fear factor, and just people are waiting. They're saying things are going to get better. Things are going to change. I'm expecting this. I'm expecting that. Or I just want to wait because I don't know what's happening. Well, you do know what's happening in your own household, and you shouldn't wait for anybody or anything that is going to delay your opportunities moving forward. So, when we take control, we remove the negative emotions out of our circumstances and we empower ourselves. And whether the case is that we're going to save you $2,700 or $500 or $1,700, like the people that we've shared on the show today, if there's an opportunity for you to save money, you don't want to look backwards and say, gee, I wish I did this earlier. It's let's take control now. Let's see what we can do. And let's put myself in a position to take advantage of the opportunities that are available to me moving forward.
AngelaCalla.ca, no fee for her service. Angela Calla, CALLA.ca. You have been listening to The Mortgage Show on CKNW. Manny Bazunas, along with accredited mortgage professional and best-selling author Angela Calla. We shall see you next time.